Hello everyone. Hey, we have 5 people to start off. Hello everyone. How is everybody today? Welcome to another stream. Today we're gonna wait till the stream fills up a little bit. I know there's a few more people coming. Yeah, I'm gonna start the stream now. I'm gonna put the little starting soon a little bit earlier and start at around close to 7 now when I do the streams. So hope everybody's well. Everybody's here. I hope everything is working. Hey Mike, how you doing? Good to see you on a Friday evening. Not much to be done again, as usual. We're getting used to it by now. So yes. So what we're going to do... Ah, on a un petit Normand. Salut JB. Comment va? Merci de nous rejoindre. Alors, ouais, ça a l'air de marcher alors. Hein. Les messages passent. L'audio a l'air de passer. C'est bon. On va faire ça. Donc, voilà. Ici, le temps se désagrège encore. On a eu 2 semaines de gros gel. And we had, 2 weeks of hard frost. And lakes were frozen, and now it's getting milder, and we're having lots of rain, and I think the cold is coming back next week. So the fishing is really, really, really difficult. And we're restricted to 5 kilometers as well. So fishing in COVID time, it's fun. Hey Paul, how you doing, Paul? Thanks for joining, mate. Good to see you. We have a few people coming in. That's nice. So yeah, anyway, I know a lot of people can't attend live, so I know the stream is, you can watch it again at a later date whenever you want, because they'll be online and available. So yeah, we're going to look at synthetics, and I'm not going to do a whole synthetic thing of all the fibers that exist. What I want to do and what I'm doing is the fiber that I use personally, and how I do my flies and what works for me where I am. So I'm not saying that this is the best, this is the best solution. I mean, everybody has their own preference, but what I tie primarily is what we call guide flies. So they're flies that I use for my guiding business when I take clients out. So I want flies that are cheap, that will last a long time, that are easy to cast as well, because I don't really get super experienced anglers on the boat or on the raft. So the flies needs to be easy to cast for the clients, and I don't want to be spending hours on tying these flies. So they're flies that are fairly quick to tie, fairly cheap, and they last a long time, and most importantly, they catch ton of fish. They're proven patterns. So for this, I usually do not buy most of my fibers in fly shops, because the price for a pack of fibers at 5, 6, 7 euros, some of them, it's, I don't know, not for me anyway. I can't afford it. I need to put my guiding days at 500 euro a day then, like, you know, considering. But yeah, so what I use mostly is 2 fibers. You probably see it from the different my pictures on Instagram and on different social media. It's mostly Canicalon and Congo hair. These are my 2 go-to fibers. They're my bread and butter. I tie most synthetic flies that I tie it with them. A lot of people are a little bit scared using them, or they don't think they're great because they're not in a fly shop. They're not sold as a fly tying material. But at the end of the day, they all come from the same few factories in China. They're not making them in a special little place for you. They're all coming from China, all from mostly the same factories that make these fibers. So they go in different industry, and the main bulk goes to the hair industry, hair extensions and this kind of things. That's why Canicalon is made for. Who do we have? Thomas Hill, how you doing, Thomas? Thanks for coming. Jordan, salut Jordan, comment va? Merci de rejoindre. Julien, salut. And who else? Peter, how you doing, Peter? Good to see all you guys spending a little bit of time with me. So yeah, last stream was really good. I enjoyed it, and I think it's arriving at about 500 views in a week, so I'm happy enough. So it gives me a little bit of incitement to keep on going and doing new ones. By the way, if you have any request or whatever, don't be afraid to put them in the comment below. I can read them later on. I might miss them on the chat there, so no problem for that. And also, I'd like to thanks a lot all the guys that send me a coffee, bought me a coffee. It's just down here. So an easy way if you want to support the streams and the videos. So not obligatory, but it's very much so appreciated. So thanks for the one that gave some donations last week and during the week as well. So we're going to start now. Yeah, Canicalon. A lot of people, like I said. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? Good to see you. Good man. Thanks for coming. So yeah, Canicalon. Canicalon is cheap. I think it retails for like $3.99 sterling. Plus whatever VAT now, unless you live in the UK. So you get a huge bunch of Canicalon hair. I don't there's different types of Canikalon, but I usually stick to the main one, the classic one. You get a lot of colors, a lot of choice in colors with Canikalon, and it's just the simple sheer amount that you get for what you would pay for a tiny pack of fibers in the fly shop. You get just a big bundle with Canikalon. I usually cut mine. It comes in a big long piece, a big double long piece. I usually make 4 big chunks. I'll show you now how I kind of cut them to be more manageable for pike fly. So they come like this, tied with an electric clip, and these have been already cut. I mean, there is, let's see, with the orange one there, you would have that, and this is added underneath. So you get, yeah, basically this is what you get. So you get all this for like $3.99. I don't think you can get better value, but it's good because you can change the physical aspect of Canikalon as well. A lot of people don't like because it's too fuzzy, too much crinkle in it sometimes. But I'll show you a little trick how to take that out, and you can do different things with it. So it's great for volume, and it moves well in the water. I use it for mostly the body and the tail of the flies. The head, I rather use the Congo hair, so I can sculpt it a little bit more. Yeah, that's Canikalon. So go and get some if you haven't tried. You're missing out. So let's see. The other fiber that I use a lot, and you know by now if you follow me, is of course the Congo hair. Congo hair available from Fly Tires Dungeon. It's in America. The packs are very cheap, and I can't praise that fiber enough. It's very similar to many fibers that you buy for like 3 times the price. Postage from the States, it's very honest. They don't charge you very expensive. I pay double when I order from the UK in postage than from Fly Tires Dungeon. Huge choice of colors, huge. They do fantastic blends. I love their blends. One of my favorite one is the bronze back. Great for bream, rod, even roach. If you're in the States, you tie from musky. Great sucker patterns you make with that color. Really good color. They do a green one as well. A mixture of green one like that. Fantastic for perch color, for pike patterns as well. As usual, I will put a link tomorrow on the blog with the stream and a link of where I get all these wonderful fibers for a very reasonable price. So, like I said, they're guide flies that I tie. Just want to make sure people like using different fibers. Everybody's set in their own way, but this is what works here. And yeah, let's start to tie the first one. So the first I'm going to tie is it's fairly based on the flasher fly that I do. I will include as well tomorrow the link of that video. It's on my channel as well, the flasher. Great fly, fantastic. I love it. Easy to cast, easy to fish, and last a long time. We had a fantastic time. The first time I walked on these flies, I was on the Inoko, and yeah, they caught us a ton of fish, and they lasted a long time, which is surprising up there, because if you do like natural flies like bunnies or bucktail, they get cut to bits, like they don't last very long. But these synthetic flies lasted nearly the whole week. So there were few fibers still standing on the hook, but they were still catching, like, you know. So it's a good durable fly. So let's start on this one. My usual go-to, the good old Sakuma Manta. Same thing. I use these hooks because they're cheap. They stay sharp. They remain sharp for a very long time. They're very easy to sharpen. Fantastic. hooks, and they never let me down. I never had one of these hooks losing a pike or opening. I had other brands that I don't want to mention that failed me on a few occasions, and once I have a brand or a type of material that failed me on a fish, that opens, that breaks, it's out the door, and I move on to something else because I don't want that to have a repeat. So yeah, I'm gonna start this. Okay, let's see. Yep, up there. That's it, get in place. Okay. Who do we have? Hey pike fisher, how you doing? Fly tying and beer. Yeah, this is the new going out now. It's much better. Save money, can buy more fibers. So another thing you notice, when I start all my pike fly, I run the thread all the way on the shank of the hook. I don't like just starting at the end, doing a little bit of thread to hold the thread. You don't want the fly to be spinning around after. So a good layer of thread. And this week, miracle, I found an old pot of super glue, so we have glue this Friday. We have glue. Okay, good layer of glue like that. Your fly is going to stay nice and straight. Okay, we're going to start with the tail and the mid body. So we're going to go with Canicalon. Yes, Kevin, yeah, the Sakuma 410, 420 and the 430, I love them for bait fish. I have a big box up there. Actually, I will use one for bait fish after on the next fly. Really, really good one. I use them for my smaller bait fish. Bait fish that resembles more a roach or perch, something about in the 10 to 15 centimeter max. They're great hooks, super strong hooks. So I'm going to start with the tail section and the body. So for this is about the amount of fiber I would use. I want to be generous because that tail needs to have movement. You need that tail to be moving at the back of the fish, of the fly. Okay, we're going to make a nice big long flies. This fly is going to be about 25 centimeter about when it's finished. So top of the hook, not exactly 50-50. I would be like a more of a 60-40 here when I tie. 60 at the back, 40 at the front. Okay, bring it back onto the top and secure. There you go. Now what you want to see is, I'm going to bring it over here so you see better at the end. So you get the volume of the Canicalon here, nice and bouncy, but I want that tail to be mobile at the back, to have loads of movement. So for this, it's a very simple trick. You're gonna have to go and raid your girlfriend's or your wife's drawer, and I'm gonna go for the hair straightener. Now for the hair straightener, you do not want to have it on a high heat. Select the lowest you can and don't even let it go to the low. Great for bass. Oh yeah, definitely. Good sea hook as well. Mind you, what is it? It's the 410 in stainless steel. I had them completely bent and cut in half in the Dominican Republic by triggerfish. So it's okay for fresh water and salt water in Europe, but if you go exotic, I would definitely pick another hook. But they're strong for here, like they last, no problem. They're not going to open. So bring that to the heat. You want to be able just to touch it without burning yourself, but you don't want it too hot. If you get it too hot, it's going to make a mess. It's going to do the opposite than what you want to do is just take all the crinkle out of the back of the tail. So leave a little bit of crinkle here and start at the back and run it quickly. You don't want to be too long on it. You judge yourself anyway. It'll take a couple of trial, but because this fiber is meant for the hair industry, this is what they use on it, because you can do what you want with it. Work it. You can work it as well with a hair dryer. Heat it up. There you go. We're getting there. Switch off the heat on the hair straightener, because it's like everything when you fly tie. Less is more. There you go. That's a good tip, especially if you tie, for example, sea bass flies. If you use canicaron for saltwater predator, you will get a lot more aggressive response on the fish if the fibers are nice and flat. Thank you. I think it's some donation after coming. I missed who it was, but thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, back to this. For saltwater, usually the fly has to ride a lot more stable. And thanks, Peter. It's Peter. Thank you very much, Peter. Much appreciated, buddy. I'll buy more canicaron with that, and maybe some glue. So, yeah, saltwater fish, they like a fly that rides more stable and have less resistance in the water. Fast, straight, that's what you're looking for. Like, so by using hair straightener on canicaron, if you use it for saltwater, you'll catch a lot more fish like that, instead of having the big bulky that you leave for the pike. So on this one, like I said, I left about that much of crinkle, and the back now, as you can see, let's see here, yeah, the back now is nice and straight. There's still crinkle in it, there's still a bit of volume, but it's a lot more supple. It'll move a lot more. Once you put it in the water, it'll move a lot more. So after that, what I like to put is, of course, a favorite bit for pike. It's flash. So I like putting loads of flash, a good flashy tail. Now again, flash. I made a video on what type of flash I use. So the Lurex spools, I'll put the link of that video as well if you want to get yourself some. But there is another good things coming from Fly Tires Dungeon. They have a good bit of flash, and it's fairly cheap for the price, and they have really good selection of flash. The one I like using is this Northern flash, this guy here. It has a crinkle in it, and the blends are lovely. Same thing, I use that one a lot on my brim pattern. It has that kind of a, what is it? It's copper, gold, and silver. So you can't go wrong with that. So I'm going to put a nice head full of flash in the tail now. Same thing, flash can be sometimes a little bit overpriced for what it is, like, you know. I don't like saving money on cheap flash, like the one you get at Christmas. Everybody seems to be running to the pound shop at Christmas to get cheap flash. It's just crap flash. That don't waste your money. That is wasting your money if you get that tinsel and all that stuff at Christmas. It looks good, but in the pike's teeth it doesn't last long, like, you know. So have the flash end up on the bottom of the lake, and I don't like that, like. So let's put some flash on that tail. So I'm going to use nearly the whole length here on the back, and then I'll spread it out a bit. This is another very important tool when you fly tying, is your thumb. That thumb does most of the work. Spread the fibers, bucktail, okay, bring back, secure. So we don't want a huge amount of flash, just enough to reflect the light, give a little bit of attractiveness at the back. You still want that fly to be mobile. You want that to keep on moving. So now we're gonna, what color should we use? We're gonna do a little, yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to tell you. When I cut my big strand of canicalon when they arrive from the shop, like I say, it comes in this. You have the other piece. I cut here. The bottom part, I put an electrician zip tie, and then with a heat gun, I just burn the top and just flatten it on a stone or a piece of metal or anything that's not flammable. And like this, when you arrive near the end of the bunch, it's not going to come loose everywhere. You're not going to have fibers everywhere. So burn it, and you'll be happy. It won't come loose. So for this, we're going to attack the body now. So less canicalon than the tail now. That much. It's hard to give the amount like this, but like this would be like a quarter of a pencil thick, like, you know. Thomas, how you doing, man? Thank you. Yes, Thomas, it is the place to put questions. Put all the questions you want here. Yak hair, is it similar to white hair or similar? Is that white hair similar to yak hair? No, not really. It doesn't hold the water as much as yak hair, and it lasts a lot longer. So I tried yak hair. I like yak hair, but like I said, for the price that you pay yak hair and a bunch of canicalon, for me, like I said earlier, these are guide flies, and I need to keep the cost down, and they still have to remain effective. So and I just don't give that to the client on the boat. I fish with these flies all the time myself, so they are proven patterns, and they work fine, like, you know, no problem. Yeah, Peter, best Christmas present you got from your wife 2 years ago, her hair straightener. Yeah, if it's only the hair straightener, you're fine. Okay. Now that length of canicalon, we're gonna cut it in half. I use the 2 halves. Again, same, about 70-30 now. I would tie that. I would tie it on the side. Now don't leave any straight edge. Just feather all these fibers. Okay. So now we're attacking kind of the body of the fly, so we want a little bit of more volume. So we have the thin tail that we done with the hair straightener, and now we're starting to build the body and the volume at the front. Like I said, this is nearly like the flasher fly that I tie. but there's a little twist on it. So okay, spread out a bit all these fibers. Next time I shouldn't wear an orange top tying orange flies. Okay, we're going to get into the yellow after, so it'll be all right. Oh, thank you guys. I see some coffees coming in. I don't know who it is, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hopefully this lockdown and this corona crap is gonna get better, because it's starting to get long. I haven't walked in a year now, so if I'm not able to get continental tourists this year, I'll have a few open place. If any of you guys are in Ireland, if any of you guys want to try some river pike, going down places where nobody goes, because I'm the only one who can get to these places with the raft. So hit me up, yeah, because I'll be starting guiding for local people. So local people, for people within 5 kilometers. I don't know, maybe not. Hopefully we have a little bit more room to play. Hello Chris, how you doing? Thanks for joining, man. Thank you. Okay, now we're attacking the body of the fly. So we had the orange part. Well, not too bad. I'm going to put another little bit. So this is the same process that we did here. We just double it. So that's why it's important not to use too much fiber for this. I don't know how many. Let's count 10, 20. How about maybe 50 fibers there altogether. Okay, feather that out. Okay, now the last time we tied on both sides and kind of rounded it up. So now this time we do one on the top and one on the bottom, and again about 70-30. Okay, top. Use your thumb, spread a bit, and we do the bottom. God, it's absolutely pouring outside now. I can hear it against the window. Never a break, huh? Okay. Yes, Peter. Yeah, the burning of the canicalon so it doesn't come undone. Yeah, definitely, it's a must. It's a must, because once you start losing the pressure of the zip tie, it's horrible. So if you notice now, this time I did not catch when I doubled up back the canicalon, I didn't wrap it and tied it like this. I leave it loose and just built a little bit of a dam at the front of thread, just to give it volume. You see, it's still open, it's just pliable. All right, now we're going to get to the head. So yeah, this fly is a little bit special because the difference with the flasher has nothing inside the body, but this one I'm going to put something different. Now, if you're familiar with your dead baiting, if you know pikers that dead bait, the bait poppers, so these are the mini ones. They're the 18 millimeters. So they're basically foam balls. And what I do, I use half of one. So there it is there. So they're already drilled. Salut Pascal, merci de nous rejoindre. So yeah, these are Fox. There's many different companies that make them. And I find that half of one like this is just the perfect amount of foam for that size of fly. So this is not going to be a fully floating fly, but with the amount of synthetic and the size of the hook, It's just going to be a very, 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 very slow sinking fly. It might hang, depends on the amount of fibers you use or the hook you use. It'll take you a little bit of tuning, but you'll get there. Maybe it'll take a little bit less than half the ball. Maybe you have to cut the ball, maybe 2/3, 1/3, and just use the 1/3 of the ball. So I like to fish this one. I fish it in spring and summer, any time of the year. All I do is just change the line that I use. This one, for the type of lakes that I fish here, which are lakes and rivers that most of the time when the pike are active, you chase them in between 1 meter up to about 4 meters deep, really. So usually an S3, and I shorten the leader as well. And just fish that behind, and that fly, that sink tree is just going to drag the fly. You strip it, it'll go with the line, and it'll try slowly to go back up, and you just push it back down. It's very effective, especially sometimes pike are triggered by different actions more than the color. The way the fly moves is usually what gets the pike going on certain days. And I know there's some days they like a really strong jigging action. If you put like a fish skull at the front or big bead eyes to get that fly sinking and jerking up and down when you strip. But there's days they just love that coming back up slowly of the fly. It's not, like I said, a full floating. It has nothing to do with a popper. It's not like a deer hair fly. It's very particular because it's slightly up to the top of the hook that I'm going to insert that little ball. Who do we have? JC. Let's see. Yes, Jesse is saying that the canicalon can spring back in between the fingers. Yeah, it's a very pliable fiber. I really like it because, like you see there, I didn't have to tie it back. It just pushes it back, no problem, just with a little bit of a dam of thread at the front, and it stays. You create a really nice volume. So I'm just gonna cut this ball in half. Now the two advantage of this little foam is that it's going to give you that floatability that you're looking for, that buoyancy, and also it'll give volume to the head of the fly. All right, just use be careful. I use the good old fisherman's friend there. So there you go. It's like a mini boilie. Okay, all you have to do now is put a little bit of glue. Hey Pascal, salut. Merci de joindre. Have a nice mixture of people tonight. Have some French, some Belgium, some Irish, some English. What do we have? Word up, we had a Brazilian last week and a Serbian. It was lovely. Nice to see people coming from different parts. Okay. Let's push this. And bring the thread forward. That's it. Just a little ball. Now we're gonna build the front. So canicalon again. Gonna use some electric yellow. A bit of this is a good color too. It's got me so many fish, that color. But this length. What I like to do is spread it out a little bit, open it up, I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to do a couple of very loose wraps, just to get all the fibers around. Takes a little bit of work, but we got it. Okay. That's it. It doesn't really show on the video, but there's just very few hairs on top of that foam head. Now to hide all that and give it a bit of a nicer finish, we're just going to use a little bit of Congo hair. Like I said, Congo hair is great for if you want to do a bit of sculpting ahead. It's really handy. Oh, Marvin, hello from Canada. How you doing? All the way from Canada. Been to Quebec. Only frizzed my balls in Toronto once, but that's about it. I'd love to visit again. Where did you buy the Canny Calon? All will be revealed tomorrow. I'll put a link on the blog, and I'll put all the address, so don't worry. You'll get all the address here. The easiest place to get the hair is from Amazon. Well, yeah, I try not to buy from Amazon. I don't like Bezos. If I cannot buy on Amazon, I rather support independent people than Amazon. So yeah, you can find a lot of things on Amazon. And the other problem we have in Ireland is that now with the UK and the Brexit, Amazon UK, it's basically a no-no because nobody's sending stuff to us. It costs too much. No, that's all right, Dan. You can buy on Amazon. There's no problem. But I just, yeah, oh, somebody bought me a beer again. Thank you very much, guys. You're brilliant. You're absolutely deadly. Thanks again, guys. Frank, salut Frank. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so I try to buy just from independent people. And now, like I said, we are a bit screwed in Ireland with Amazon and the whole Brexit thing. So we have to look in Amazon France, and most of the sellers don't send to Ireland, or if they send to Ireland, they're just like crazy money they want for postage. So I'm not going through that. Like I'm not going through that. So yeah, it's very difficult now with that Brexit thing, and especially in Ireland we have like a crazy VAT to pay. Like we are at like 23-24% VAT, so it adds like a quarter of the price on anything that we buy now from the UK. But thank God Canny Calon's still cheap, so even if it's a quarter more expensive, it's still worth buying. Alright, good old Congo hair now. One length cut in half, and now we're going to do a little bit of packing. Top, feather that hair, put it up. You don't want straight edge when you cut, never. It's not natural. Only human make things with straight edge. Okay, let's distribute all that hair around. Bring the thread at the front. Now we're nearly there. I'm going to get another bit, and we're going to cut it in 4 bits. So one length, 1, 2, and again half. So we have 2 bits like this. So same again. This is just to finish the head. We try to wrap these last 2 bits all around the head, nice and even. Now that bit, it's okay if it's you still have some straight hairs, because it's going to be cut and it's going to be a little bit sculpted. So you can pack it as well, don't be afraid. a little bit like if you would tie a deer hair. That vice is. There you go. Yeah, Pascal saying EP fiber is more softer than Congo hair. Yeah, it is, but I really doubt that the pike sees the difference between the softness of EP fiber and Congo. I really, really doubt. Pike is a very moody creature. So anybody that fly fish for pike know that that pike all depends on the weather patterns, on its mood. It can hit anything one day, and next day they can be super difficult. But like I'm saying, I don't think the pike will see the difference between Congo hair and EP fibers. My pocket does though, so that's the first thing I look after. Well, Marvin says, I don't think I've ever seen Congo hair in fly shops. Well, you do. You see Congo hair a lot in shops, but the thing that happens with Fly Tires Dungeon is that if you buy a certain quantity, a big quantity of Congo hair, they give you the right to rebrand that Congo hair. So I can buy 200 packs and call it Norbert's hair or Flies with Attitude hair. And that's it. It's my own hair, and I can pretend, oh, look what I found. I found a new type of hair, and it's brilliant. But it's the same. And there's a lot of shops that do that. They buy in bulk in Fly Tires Dungeon and put new stickers on it, and there you go. You have a new hair, but it's only rebranded. Basically, it's the same stuff. So, yeah. I don't, but EP fiber, yeah, it is slightly different. But like I say, I don't think the fish is seeing much difference between an EP fiber or Congo hair. What do we see? Paul Burke, what thread are you using? Yeah, same thing, Paul. I use the same stuff for quite a few years now. I think I made a video as well where I get that. Now I know that it's a German seller. And I know a lot of people from the States. I see there Martin from New Jersey, USA. How you doing, Martin? Welcome to the stream. I know that some people in the States had a problem because they never get to access his website, or sometimes he does not send away. But try to send an email to the guy directly. Sometimes through the site, the sales don't go through, but I know some people have sent an email to him, and usually there's no problem for him to send the thread. It's gel spun. It's a GSP Power Silk. Same again that many brands sells in the little spool that you have when you buy it in the fly shop. But the only difference is the one I buy, you get 1 kilometer, and that's €19 for 1 kilometer. So you get a D30, D50, D75, D100, D150, D200. So I use 150 for my pike flies, and I use 50 for smaller flies. So there's the website at the bottom. Can go back on the stream and press pause if you want. But I know some people had a hard time to access that website from different countries. I don't know why, but if you're in Europe mostly, you should be able to find that website, no problem. Okay, all we have to do now is give it a brush. Snow Runner. Yeah, Snow Runner is lovely. I like Snow Runner, but like I said, yeah, it's they're guide flies. I like flies that last a long time and that don't cost me much. So quite sometimes people buy these flies at the end of the trip, or I give them away. So I don't want to spend a lot of money when I tie these flies. So it works as well. I mean, on a day, if it's fished well, if you cast the fly in the right area, you're fishing the proper line, that you have EP fiber, Congo hair, or Naiad hair, most chances that that pike is going to eat that fly. Like I say, it's mostly about the action, and I don't think a pike is worried too much about these micro differences that it makes. Either way, they are on the move, they want to hit anything, or they can be very difficult, and when they're very difficult, you can throw anything at them. You can put a live bait and they won't even take it. So it's hard to find the right balance. But like I said, whatever works for you. If Naiad hair works for you, or a snow runner hair works for you, go ahead, man. Just use it all the time. Jaded Dragon, yeah, good man, on Reddit. Oh, I'm glad you come. Thank you. Coming all the way from Reddit. There you go. Social networking, huh? Hello from Missouri, USA. Good man, got here late. That's okay, you can watch the first part anyway later on. How did you get your markings so clear with on the side of the bait? I suppose you're talking about the one that's on the picture, the pike one. I'll tie that one after. Just Sharpie, easy. Sharpies. I think that's what you mean, Nathan. Okay, see if I'm not missing any question. Pascal, do you use long streamer for pike fly fishing? This would be the longest. These ones, they would be the longest. We at 23, 25 centimeter. They would be the longest that I use for pike. So now we're just gonna trim the head. It's a little bit bushy. It's a little bit uneven. So hold the scissors. What I do usually, I hold the scissors at a 45-degree angle like that and just cut all around. That's what I like about Congo hair. You can really sculpt it to get some really nice heads. Very much like a Bufford if you want. I think somebody said something about a Bufford there. Do I find Julian? Question from a noob. That's okay. We all noobs at one time. In terms of buoyancy, what's the advantage of this style of head compared to a Bufford? Bufford is the same. It'll do exactly the same. The only thing, it's bucktail. And like I said, I'm trying to, when I tie these flies, I'm trying to keep the cost as low as I can and to be as effective as they can. So this is a relation between price and effectiveness. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm happy to provide you with good inspiration, buddy. Okay, well, there you go. Now it has a much better profile. Now you get the profile of that little half foam head. So you can't really see it here, but like I see through because the light is over there and I can exactly see through the fly and see exactly where that little foam head is. So yeah, fish that on a sink tree with a short leader. I would like fish it with a 2-foot leader, very short, about that much, and put your wire trace at the back. Maximum 3-foot leader just to get it sinking, and it's a really good fly. You can, if you want, after you have to see with the buoyancy, like I said, depends on your proportions when you tie it, depends on the size of the hook you're going to use. It's going to take a couple of flies and a couple of outings for you to see exactly how to tie that fly. So if you want it to sink a little bit, you can add some eyes with some glue. You can add the teddy bear eyes, the one I showed you from the last stream. They are a lot more bulkier and add a bit of weight at the front, so that might counteract a little bit. You can as well add a little bit of weight at the back of the shank if you want. You can put a little bit of weight here when you start tying, just around the bend. But for me, that's just perfect. it'll sink super slow. It just stays there, doesn't move. Profile, effective, and cheap. I'm not saying that because I've been living in Cavan for such a long time, like, you know. Apparently people here have the reputation to be tight on the money, but like I said many times when I guide people, I just give away these flies, and guys had a good day on it, so I just let them have it as a souvenir. So for me it doesn't cost much, and people are happy to take the fly that caught on them. Sometimes people come with their stock of flies. Sometimes they have the right fly for the day, sometimes they don't have the right fly for the day, so all depends on the what the pike want exactly on the day. So Chris, have you tried the brush out the bunny cord? I have, and it's a lot of work. So it's just a lot of work. Like I said, it's just for the easiness of this. If I need to tie a few flies when I'm guiding, if I run out of flies and I had a long day working, doing the cooking here, or checking everything that goes to plan with the lodge here, so sometimes I might be out of flies, I need to tie flies, and I don't want to spend hours tying a fly. They have to be whipped out fairly quickly, and they have to work. And that's exactly what I'm showing you tonight. Like, after, of course, you can spend hours on the fly, you can spend expensive material on the fly, and it's fine. I mean, everything works and everything is fine. So that's it. Okay, so now we're going to try a second type of bait fish, and this one is just 100% Congo hair. A little bit more stealthy. I don't put flash in it. Fonzie, how you doing, buddy? Salut, buddy. J'espère que ça va bien. La bise à ton père, hein? Yeah, Congo hair bait fish. I have a video as well on the simple Congo hair with the V style and the X style. I'll show it now how I tie that. Yeah, that's a much smaller fly, and it's a great little fly too. Cheap, easy to tie, and bait fish is always a fly to have in your pike box. Like, you know, it's one of the sometimes ignored fly. You get guys come with all sorts of crazy flies, articulated, and sometimes all they want is a simple bait fish. I've seen it many times while guiding, having pike coming up and hitting roach on the surface, right, left, and center, and trying different flies in the box, and nothing worked. And you put a simple Congo hair or EP fiber bait fish, and it's just straight away they take it, like, you know. So I don't know why, but it's just the shape or the way it moves. It's more natural. So usually the small bait fish fly, I don't put any flash in it. Just keep them pure and simple, tiny. Don't be too difficult with it. Don't complicate your life. That's basically what I'm trying to say. The other good thing with Congo hair is that I use mostly white Congo hair for the belly, and Congo hair is great for taking permanent marker. If you want to color your fly, if you want to put stripes on the perch, if you want to put red for the fins, Sharpie works absolutely brilliant. It doesn't wash away, it stays. I tried, what did I try to color my streamers? I tried the Copic markers, and I was so disappointed. I bought the spray thing and the can and the compressor for the Copic, and it just washes out. You fish, you go 2 outings and the thing is just bland. All the colors are washed out. So for me, I don't know. I still see people using Copic. I don't know if any of you guys use the Copic markers. Yeah, I think it's a waste of money again, because you go out twice and your colors are all wishy-washy. It becomes all faded, so like an old fly. So I don't like that. So I use just a simple, good old Sharpie. These guys are just cheap, all sorts of colors. If I want to do something really fancy, then it's airbrush. Just little compressor, airbrush gun, And that's if you really want to make some lovely, especially if you want to do some faded on the back with black and different colors, that'll work fantastic. Like you'll get a lovely finish. Works really good for the tails as well. I'll do a stream on the tails as well with the faux suede that I use. Let's see. Yeah, this is Pascal. Thank you, Santé. Good man, thank you very much. Merci Pascal. Très apprécié. J'irai m'acheter une bière. This is for the airbrush. Cretex, Wicked Colors. I do the spawn fly fish heads. I spray them with that. I spray popper heads with that. I spray the wiggle tail with that, and I spray the fibers and game changers and all sorts, and they really work well. Pike fishers, I use the same. Yeah, it's really good, really good. Can't go wrong. I like something that lasts and stays. So yeah, talking about hooks, let's see if I get these guys without breaking the place. Hooks. Okay, this is the 410 Sakuma, a really good baitfish hook. Now, I'm no way sponsored by Sakuma in any way. I don't get the discount, I don't get free hooks. I just buy them like you and I would. It has a lovely shape. Super strong, like I said, for pike, I had no problem. No problem. Super strong hook. You have it in carbon and in stainless steel. Like I said, if you go in warm water, salt water, exotic fishing, don't use them. I learned the hard way. While we're on the hook, I might as well give you a little rundown of the Sakuma type. This is another one that I use from them. This is the 470 Top Gun. Really good for bait fish as well. Bait fish, small bait fish. Now this one is an offset hook. So all you can straighten it back up. Oh, by the way, here I kept that fly. I'll just give you a quick look at it. This is the 410 size. Is it the size 2? No, that's a 2 knot 410. So yeah, the 410 2 knot, like I said, fantastic for pike or sea bass. This guy. And this is what happened to the same hook. Cut the epoxy of the fly. Completely bend the hook back. So that's what a triggerfish does to your hook. So yeah, strong hook for pike, but not for exotic species. Hold on, I'll have to keep up with the damn Copic markers are alcohol based and gets diluted with water. Diluted acrylic is the best. Yeah, definitely. That's why I still cannot understand why some fly shop and fly tires just promote Copic. I don't know. I was so disappointed with Copic. I spent money buying the thing. I think I still have some at the bottom there of the box, and man, so disappointed. Maybe it's okay if you do a bit of drawing at home, but don't put it in water. Like, don't use it for your flies. And I don't know why still fly shop sells that stuff. Like, okay, what else do we have? Fonzie uses the Cretex as well for his lures, for painting his lures. Yeah, definitely. I really like it. Really like it. Nathan says he used the Sharpies with the Copic markers. Oh, Santé buddy, thank you very much. Whoever got me a beer, I'm going to be pissed tonight. Thank you guys, much appreciated. Really appreciated all that support. So let's see. What else do we have? Sharpies instead of the Copic marker. Yeah, that works too, but you need your Sharpies to be fairly brand new. So the Sharpie is like full of ink, so the compressor really spits that ink, no problem. Eric Marguet, salut Norbert, salut Eric, how you doing? Merci de nous rejoindre. Who else do we have? Peter Kupia, what are you drinking? Tea. I'm boring. Mint tea. That's what I'm drinking. I quit alcohol. Healthy New Year. It's better for the head, like, you know, I'll go mad in this place. So, what do we have? Jade Dragon, no problem, man. You're welcome. Like I said, I really, that's why I work as a guide. I really enjoy the sharing, and it's funny. It's sometimes a question that I get a lot. Like, you know, when I guide, people said, "You don't fish when you guide." And I says, "No, I guide. I'm not here to fish." But I get as much kick seeing a person getting their new PB than if I would get myself a big fish like that. So. I just find it rewarding. I really enjoy it. So back to the hook. I'm going to show you another two types of hook that are fairly good. One that I'm not too sure, that I bought, and I find it a little bit light wire. And funny enough, there's a brand of hook at the moment that are very popular. They're expensive. Maybe you know the one. They have really good hooks. I'm not bashing them one bit at all, but they have one pike hook that is, I find, well, for here in Ireland, too light. I had two of their hooks completely opened up on me on a fish that was just like one was 1 meter one and the other one was 99 centimeters. So they were not monster fish, and they just opened it up. This one is very similar. It's the Sakuma Phantom. You can see the shape on this hook. Nice hook. But like I said, the wire is a little bit light on the Phantom. So I haven't used them again. It's all about, yeah, trying and trial and errors. So, and the last one that works really well, I use this one for my perch flies. If I want to go perch fishing. They do really good trailer hook as well. It's the 450 Shinu. This guy. 450 Shinu. It makes a really nice. Thank you, Pike Fisher. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. Much appreciated again. Now this is the Shinu. It works really well as a trailer hook or for perch flies. Really good. Another thing, while I'm not talking about trailer hooks, I don't use trailer hooks. I have used trailer hooks for a while, and I just don't use trailer hooks. If I find that the pikes are nipping at the back of the fly, I just downsize the fly. I'm not gonna start using trailer hooks. I don't know why. I just don't like it. Sometimes they can be a little bit damaging to the fish or the angler. So yeah, if the pike are starting to nip at the back of the fly, just use a smaller fly. Just reduce your fly. Use a fly that's easier for them to sip in. Like you all know, if you fish for pike, when the pike attack, it opens the gill flares and you get that vortex, that suction that goes in, and sometimes they're really good just to make little ones, just to taste. And a big fly with a big wiggle tail, or a fly that has a lot of material, when they do that, they just get the back of the tail. So if you're fishing a wiggle tail, you're going to miss them. If you're fishing synthetics like Congo hair or Canicalon, sometimes they get the first teeth at the palate tangled in, so you think you have the fish for 2 seconds and you miss it. So just change the fly for something that little that little sip when they taste, make sure that that fly is fairly light. Usually I like using feathers for the tail, so like something like a little deceiver with a little synthetic head at the front, and usually they just like that little sip and it's enough for them just to get nailed at the front. So that usually does the trick, instead of keep on using big flies and putting a trailer hook at the back. So that's my personal view. Again, on this channel, I just express my personal views mostly. So this is what works for me, and I think I kind of have it fairly sussed with all the years I've been into it. Like so, yeah, that's why I like to do smaller fish, smaller bait fish. Pascal, when you use. Yeah, exactly. Pascal is after saying there in French. I just translate for the rest of you. It says you showed in the video you use this type of small hooks when you tie your bunny flies, like the bunny siever. Another video on the channel. Bunny siever is a fly that I first became familiar in Alaska. Yeah, hold on, Pascal. I'll answer that. I have to be bilingual here, and it's not easy. So I'll do it quickly in English, and I'll come back to French with you. So yeah, the bunny siever is a fly tied especially for that type of moment when the pike are a little bit difficult, and they just get that little sip. The bunny siever with the heavy bunny at the back, but you counteract that with belly hair at the head and the body. So it's a little slow sinking bunny fly, but when the pike sips in, it just gets in just enough for the hook to be in. That's why the little Renaud hook is a really sharp and very strong hook. So if you hit the pike, and usually front of the mouth, corner of the mouth, that's where you have all the bones, all the jaw, so it's really hard to get a good penetration of a hook. So a smaller hook would have a lot more penetration in that part of the mouth, so yeah, you have more chance of hooking fish like that. So I'm just going to reply quickly in French with him because I don't think he has much English. Pascal, oui, donc le Renaud sur les bunny sievers, comme la vidéo que tu as vue, ce qui se passe, c'est que c'est des mouches qui sont faites justement quand le brochet aspire, mais pour goûter quand il n'attaque pas, qui aspire juste des petites aspirations. C'est une mouche qui arrive juste à se mettre devant la bouche, sur le côté de la bouche, sans rentrer tout au fond, parce que le brochet goûte, donc il fait une petite aspiration et il recrache directement. Et au moment du recrachement, souvent, ce petit hameçon, le Renaud, il se plante devant. Comme j'explique, un petit hameçon piquera beaucoup mieux, parce que c'est une zone qui est très difficile à piquer un gros hameçon. Donc un petit hameçon, et il se pique assez souvent comme ça. Ok. Pascal, I think he speaks French now, so or English, so we'll be all right. Yeah, if you have questions, keep them coming. I'm here for that, like, so it's no problem at all. I don't mind. So yeah, let's tie a bait fish. Actually, we're going to tie a bait fish with the 410. All right. So this is the 410. Super sharp hook. Really sharp hook, this one's. I like the shape as well. It has that inward point that goes back in. Okay, now we're gonna go for Congo. So like I said, I use a lot of white Congo. Now you have the pure white, and I really like using this one. It's kind of off-white. It's slightly darker white, nature's tan. I really like that one for bait fish. Okay, let's see if I have some. I don't have any more green. I had a lovely green for pike to make the pike pattern, but we're going to tie it with the bronze back. We're going to use the bronze back. So very simple pattern again. Cheap, cheerful, and it works, no problem. Now for this one I like to bring the thread a little bit back to have a little bit more room to work, because I'm gonna sculpt the belly on this one. Try fish Red Hills House, Cavan. Red Hills House. Which one is that? Is that the big fancy hotel? The what is it called? Castle Leslie, I think. Maybe you talk about Castle Leslie. I don't know. Red Hills. There's a few good lakes in the Red Hills. I used to live around Ballyhes for years, so I kind of know that neck of the wood up there. Now I'm more west side Cavan now. Bordering Leitrim. I go in and poach pike in Leitrim now. Okay. But if I have a choice, yeah, rivers. I just love river fishing. Can't wait to get back out on a river. At the moment they are absolutely not looking very good, one bit. So just patience. Patience. Will be out again. Alright. As usual, get a nice base so you make a good durable fly. Fly that'll last longer than one outing. You want flies to catch like a lot of fish before you start changing them. So okay, the usual. That's how much. If you twist to give you the amount of canicano, it's never easy to judge. But if you twist, this is the size of a skewer, like a kebab skewer, maybe like a little bamboo skewer. That's the amount that I use. Again, feather your fibers. You don't want any straight line. Yeah, the bunny siever. That's a fantastic fly. Little. I love bunnies. I love fishing bunnies. I love fishing bunnies. Frank has to go. See you next time, Frank. Thanks for joining. He'll watch the rest of the stream later on. So, okay, this I'm going to do nearly a 50-50 on this. As usual, start at the top of the hook. Bring back. And this tie back like this. Okay. I do the bottom. Again, same amount of hair as the back. This one we're going to wrap it around the two sides. So one is tied on top of the hook. And now we're going to tie on the side of the hook, on the flank, 50-50 as well. Okay, see there on the side. Bring this one back to the side, pinch it, hold it in place, and tie it directly opposite the one that you're after tying. So you get the base now with the two on the side here, and you get the top. That's the back of the bait fish done. Now we're going to do the back. So this one is has a bigger body than the top. The top is is fairly narrow. I'm going to tie on, like I would call V-style. So when I tie V-style, okay, put the back, it's only tied, just for you to understand my lingo. This is V-style, that's what I call V-style. Tie in a V, simple. Okay. Narrow. I don't spread too much the fibers around. I keep it on the top. So what's going to happen is that you're going to have the top of the fly is going to be narrow, but the body is going to be wide and the belly is going to be sculpted. So you're going to have a nice thick belly, so it's going to kill the fly, and you're going to have a narrower back. So when you strip, you get a better action like that. Okay, now we're going to get to the body. So always the same amount like of hair that I use roughly for these guys. So now we're going to cut in half. We start to go with the half one. And this one is V-style as well, but sideways. So it shows the hair, tie it sideways like this. One to the side and one to the side, exactly like we did with the first one. There is also the 420 hook. Is that the one you smoke? The 420 hook. It's the... I'll have to check this one. I don't think I have any 420s. I like the sound of them. All right. I have a better view like this. Bring it back. There you go, like two little wings, like this. And tie. Now the top, now we're going to use even less fibers. We don't want to put too much now going to the front, because it's all about the profile now. So at the top again, just the top, don't spread it out, keep it tight. There you go. So we have that narrow head and that wide body. Now don't worry if you see the thread while you tie, you can compensate after by moving the belly fibers and the top fiber and get them to meet. So just give them a little pinch, and like that they start to join together. Keep the body going like this. We're going to do another. I'll put it like this so you can see how I do the body. Basically goes, tie it at an angle like this. 1, 2, 3 wraps, 3, 4 wraps. Get the proportion so it's kind of 50-50 once you bring it back. I bring this one back, and again you get that little wing shape like this. Now the belly, it seems that there's a lot of fiber on the belly there, but not to worry, it's gonna be trimmed after. Now we're gonna get to the head. So I'm going to cut in half, one in half, and the other half I'm going to cut in 2. So you end up with 2 and 1/2. It's a 2 quarters and 1/2. I'm going to put 50 and 50 at the front again, like this. Now the only difference now is that I don't alternate the top and the bottom. I keep towards the end, I tie them together. So I'm not bringing this one back and then tying the belly. I'm going to tie everybody at the same time. Again, on the side. Now you bring this one back. Again, same thing. You get the little wings like that. Secure, and then you bring the top. There you go. We're going to finish it. We're going to compress a little bit that head, push it back a little bit on the hook. And we're going to put the rest of the stuff. So now this one you can tie V style. No need to make the wing thing. It's just straight along the hook. And same at the top. Now finishing the head, having the belly V style like this and the top on V style, it's going to slightly narrow the front of the nose of the fish. So let's give you a nice little space to stick the eyes after. Let's see, pikefish, no private house with nice lake, big pike, and of course fish beautiful but expensive. Sounds like Castle Leslie if you say expensive. But no, I ain't paying for my pike here. I ain't paying for my pike. I used to fish sometimes trout water, but they start to look like farm fish now, this pike. I don't enjoy it. Like I say, wide river pike. Oh man. Very rewarding. Okay. I'm going to give it a brush. Now we have a nice chunky fly at the front. You can see it's not very nice. You get all these fibers and then it's nearly there. It's nearly there. We just need to give it a little trim as usual. That 45 degrees from the eye of the hook. And once it's going to be clipped, you're going to see the profile a lot better. Clip a bit the body. The body doesn't need too much. Like, you see, if you feather the fibers when you put them down, you shouldn't have to clip too much. Actually, I'm not even going to clip the belly. It's looking really good like that. Just clipping the head. I always like finishing the flies with a nice tidy clip at the front. I don't know why, just aesthetic, like, you know. Yes, I use this fly in the rivers. Yeah, definitely in rivers. It'll sink fairly quick. Like the Congo hair will absorb the water fairly fast, so you have no problem for having this fly to sink. Like I say, you can play with the size of the eyes after if you want. You can use it without no eyes. It'll work the same. So try to let's see. I see the belly. You get a nice thick belly, and the head is narrow on the top. All that part of the back is very narrow. And you get the nice bulk on the belly. Again, this is very easy to cast. The advantage of Congo hair is like all these synthetic fibers is that you shed water fairly fast with it, so it's very quick to shed the water and cast. Like, you know, they don't hold too much water. But this one, yeah, this. I have a video on this one, that type of bait fish. Then you can play. You can put some stripes if you like stripes. You can put a little bit of flash in the tail if you want. But sometimes I find this fly works better with no flash. So less bells and whistles on it, no rattle, no nothing, just simple, leave it like that. Yeah, damn, yeah, that'll work fantastic in Canada, this one. Yeah, you see nice the bulk there. Focus. There you go. There you go. So that's the 410 hook, and with that fly. So like I said, synthetics, there is hundreds and hundreds of synthetics out there. There's so many that you can get, that you can buy. But like I said, for what I use and what I do, these ones work perfect. The Congo hair and the Canicalon. Yeah, I have no problem. I've been using them solid for my own personal fly and for my guide flies for the last, well, good 5 years now. That I've rarely bought any other fibers. All my box of fibers, that's it. That's just I have 2 big box of Congo and 3 big box of Canicalon, and that's all I use in synthetics. Pascal is asking, what's the best color combination? Well, depends on your water. Really depends on your water, on the fish you're after, what they eat, what the color of the water. Here we have a very big mixture of water. We have some super clear, crystal clear water now with the zebra mussel. Some of the locks are like super clear. So dull flies, black flies works really well, and some days, and days you really want like a lot of flash, a lot of really aggressive colors to get them to bite, and sometimes you really need to be discreet. So I like usually to have something fairly, I would be more the type to fish fairly natural colors, roach, brim, perch, rudd, these kind of colors. But there's days like Fire Tiger, the old classic, really work. So it really depends on the day, on the fish that you go for. But for here, one that's really done well for me is orange and yellow, or full yellow, especially in the peat water that we have, that kind of tannin water. Yellow and orange works really well. But depends, like I said, roach is a good pattern, brim is a good pattern. This one, like that bronze back and white and that off-white, that's a really good pattern. Really good. Really like using that one. Yeah, that color, yeah. Peter says like that color blend for the back, yeah, it's one of my favorite. I tied so many flies with that. That's the bronze back. Yeah, baitfish bronze back. It has some tan, some rust, some off yellowish kind of. Yeah, there's the kind of yellow one that shines through. That's one of my really favorite to tie flies. You need to mix that. If you mix with flash, like especially the Lurex. What I like to use for this is like a mixture of gold and copper, holographic. It's not orange, it's a copper holographic, and you mix with this and it's an absolute fantastic pattern. Looking forward to use them, especially around May when the pike start to move into the bays to chase after some good fat breams or some skimmers. They're always there. So JB, merci, à bientôt. Merci d'être venu. And so if you have questions before I finish up, fire them out. I'll stay another couple of minutes live, and if you want any other thing to discuss next one, we can next anyway. I'm gonna probably next stream, I'm gonna do a stream talking about leaders. So again, I have to kind of, Have you ever used EP fiber? Yes, I have used EP fibers. Like I said earlier in the stream, I did use the EP fibers, but I find them way too expensive for what it is. And to a Pike's point of view, I don't think they make any bit of difference between Congo or EP fiber. So, like I said again, I know it's hard because it's a stream, so I keep repeating myself. These are guide flies. They are flies that I use when I guide, so they have to be fastly tied. They have to last a long time, and they have to catch fish, and they have to be cheap. So that's why I use this material, and they work. I mean, I wouldn't give that to my client to catch no fish in a day, like, you know, if they comes to catch fish. So I know this pattern have worked so many times for me, so no problem. Another good thing you can do as well, if you're into the game changers, mixed canicalon with Congo and a little bit of Angelina fibers, and you make a kilo brush for making game changers. That works really well too. So we could do a stream as well, making fire brushes if you want. I'll be going along anyway, because now I still have plenty of free time, because I don't see myself opening the spring with the COVID situation. So yeah, I probably keep going the streams for as long as I can, and I have sometimes. So that. Thank you, our Moen. Thank you, man. Yeah, my thoughts on material. Yeah, that's, like I said, purely my thoughts. Like, you know, like I said, I'm not sponsored by a fly shop. I'm not here to push such and such fly fibers. I'm just telling you as it is what I use and what works for me. So yeah, like I said earlier, you talk about the yak and Nayat hair. I would classify that more into the natural products. I love using naturals as well, like don't get me wrong, don't just use synthetics, but in naturals I try to tend to keep fairly simple as well. Bucktail, rabbit, what do I use? Yeah, bucktail, rabbit, and schlappens, feathers, hackles. I keep it to that, like, you know. I don't, some type of fibers, like let's see, the Icelandic sheep, that type. Oh man, it's just stupid. Icelandic sheep. The problem with Icelandic sheep is that if you look into the base of the Icelandic sheep, for the animal to keep warm, these hairs have little hooks. They have tiny little micro barbs. You don't see them at the naked eye, but if you get a good microscope or something like that, you will see that there's tiny little hooks. And merci Pascal, you bought me a beer too. Merci, très gentil. Merci de ton support. So yeah, Icelandic sheep has these little hooks, so the hair at the base of the skin stays together and keep the sheep warm, because Icelandic sheep, they come from Iceland, they're not from Congo. So, but the problem is these little micro hair, micro barbs that hold the hair together. The problem is that it's just chaos when a pike gets it in the mouth. So you pay that fairly expensive, and it's just destroyed by the pike's mouth. So yeah, don't go that, like. Where do you get decent schlappen? Well, yeah, schlappen is very hard. One thing I hate is buying natural material online. I like to go to a fly shop when I buy natural material, because you can see, you can touch, you can look at what you want. And so many times I've been disappointed ordering schlappen and they just look awful. I have packs of schlappens there. I don't even use them, like, you know, because they're marked, they're missing feathers. So, but the best that I've found, mostly regular ones, it's the one from Vineyard. So that's quality is the one from Vineyard, I think. So unless you find, I tried Nature Spirit, I found the quality to be very up and down. I tried another, was it Flycine? I found the quality to be appalling from what I got. So yeah, no, not really good. Is there any synthetics that have the potential to replace hackles properly? Very hard, very hard. very hard. Depends on what you want to use the hackle. If it's for tail material that you want the movement, it's going to be very hard to replace hackle. Yeah, and they hold as well, the hackle, like usually they don't snap that easy in a pike's mouth. So let's see who else. Une mouche tout en canicalon. Eric. Oui, Eric. Yes, this is full canicalon, just with the... You probably missed the beginning of the stream. That was the canicalon one we tied at the beginning of the stream. This is 100% canicalon. Just the head is Congo hair, but it's mostly canicalon here. So canicalon and flash. You can look tomorrow. The video will be rendered by YouTube, and you'll be able to rewatch the beginning of the stream if you want to see that tie. So let's see who else. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it's horrible to buy natural materials online. Sometimes you find something good and you buy the same brand, the same product, and it's just not good. Like, you know, so it's very difficult to find the two. Yeah, but the vineyard I found most regular for the schlappen. Like, they've been very, very good. So yeah, buying natural materials, it is online. Online, it is gambling, totally. And I hate when I get something bad that you paid money for and it's just rubbish. It's very hard, and there is so much rubbish out there. Like, I mean, you get some feathers. I think it just comes from KFC, like from the chicken they use in KFC or something. Like, you know, it's ridiculous, like that they sell that to people. So that's why sometimes synthetic for pike is great, because it's always the same stuff, it's always the same color, it's always the same constituency. So yeah, that's why I like using a good bit of synthetics, but I do love the movement of naturals. Don't get me wrong, I love naturals. And like I say, I stick to very few naturals: schlappen, hackles, bucktail, deer belly, and rabbit. And rabbit used properly, it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite all-time catching fly. Like, really like rabbit. Pain to cast, but don't tie huge rabbit. I could actually do a stream just on rabbit, because it's one of my first love, rabbit. I really discovered the potential of rabbit zonkers the first time I went in Alaska. We went with all sorts of flies, and we tied deceivers, and we tied at the time there was no game changers, where I tied like the first one I used to tie was the Chewbacca and all these kind of flies, and they work great, but for some reason the pike over there, and I mean, you're talking fish over 1.20 m, like, you know, big fish. Oh, Eric, merci beaucoup pour le super chat. That's another way as well to support the stream if you want. It's straight from YouTube. You can either way buy me the coffee here, or you can go through the super chat. So yeah, thank you, Eric. Merci beaucoup. Très apprécié, sympa, très sympa. But do a stream on your favorite flies. Yeah, but that's what I'm doing right now. These are my favorite flies. So that's what I do every time I stream. I do my favorite flies, like, you know, what works for me. I don't want to do a stream just to for weird flies and things, exotic or strange. But I mean, everything works with pike. If the pike is in the mood, everything works. But what I tie on during the streams and on my videos are just patterns that have regularly done well for me. So yeah, and to go back to that little story, in first time we went to the Inoko, we used all the flies that we brought. Like you said, if you go to a trip like that, you prepare yourself like a lunatic. You have boxes and boxes of flies, and what done well all week was a simple tiny bunny in the classic color, white tail and red head. Simple, just a little couple of Palmer red in front of a white tail, and oh my god, there was just no comparison. Like, no comparison. I think my boat my boat companion on the first day, he had no pike, and I was at 19 pike with that little stupid little fly, like, you know. And since that day, I've always carry small bunnies with me. Really, really good fly. We'll do a stream on rabbit, because rabbit is definitely, Dragon is asking favorite flies. Yeah, rabbit is one of my all-time favorites. Such a consistent catcher, and like if I had to be going anywhere around the world, saltwater or freshwater, to catch a predatory fish, it'll be a bunny. It'll be just a bunny, a simple bunny. You'll catch anything with a bunny. So yeah, if it has to be a favorite fly, it would be the bunny. If I have to pick, like, you know. So thanks, Paul. Nice seeing you. Thank you very much for the support. Yeah, we'll be doing probably next stream, probably next Friday. Keep an eye on the YouTube or other social media, but we'll do rabbit next week. Why not? We'll do a couple of rabbit flies, a couple of bunny flies. See what works. So thank you very much for coming again. I hope you enjoyed it. It looks great. Like, we had a good few viewers today. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the donation. You won't believe how much it's coming handy at the moment. And thanks for the support, guys. Yeah, definitely. And spread the word. Spread the word. Yeah, craft fur. Yes, craft fur. Yeah, I like craft fur, but for a smaller fly, maybe for perch fly. Yeah, pike flies. Yeah, don't bother craft fur with pike flies. I like for trout streamers and perch streamers using craft fur. I really like that. So, Pascal, in shallow water more natural and deep water more synthetic. Depends, really depends. I mean, shallow water, this one with the foam head inside, fantastic for shallow water. You can tie it in a smaller size as well if you want. Just reduce the amount of foam you put in the head, and it works for shallow water too. So shallow water, it's really is all about action, the way the fly moves. So some it's basically the pike that's going to dictate on the day and on the weather pattern what they want. So just have whatever you need in the box and find what they need on the day. So there you go. But if you want to fish deep, definitely synthetics will sink faster than naturals. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys, for coming again tonight. I really enjoyed it. It's great. I'm starting to get the hang of it. We didn't have any crashes or audio. Stayed good. Everything stayed good. So thank you very much again. Thanks for the support. And I'll see you next Friday. Yeah. See you next Friday. Thanks again, guys. Bye. Ciao.